Millions of us have been watching, and my next guest is the inspiration behind the new real-life drama Mr Bates versus the Post Office, which of course sheds light on the absolute scandal which saw hundreds of postal workers wrongfully prosecuted and hounded for fraud. And it was all down to a faulty computer system.
They say money's somehow gone missing from this branch, which it hasn't, and I have to pay it back. So I say, prove it. Prove that I'm wrong and you're right. Show me the figures. But they can't or won't do that.
Alan.
So now they want to close me down to shut me up.
That's ridiculous.
Because they don't want everyone knowing what I know.
Which is?
That the fancy new computer system that they've spent an arm and a leg on is faulty. Post Office Limited is stealing my livelihood, my shop, my job, my home, my life savings, my good name.
Civil matter.
Well, it's an incredible drama, and the fight, though, continues. The Mirror this morning on the front page reveals that many, too many, are still waiting for their payout years after winning the case. Well, the man behind it all, Alan Bates, joins me now. Alan, it's a joy to see you. It really is. How are you? I mean, because obviously the focus is very much on you and on your battle. And how are you feeling with all this attention?
It's not really my thing, if I'm honest, Lorraine. It's not in my comfort zone. I'm quite happy fighting the battle on it and taking things forward. But the media change. But it's good. It's good that people are recognising what's going on, what's gone wrong with all of this.
And they really are. And I think a lot of that is down. Obviously, people are watching the drama. They're talking about it on social media. And it has become, you know, a really hot issue again, and quite rightly so. When I was watching it, though, you know what really struck me? If you were the boss of the Post Office, why on earth would you think that hundreds of your employees would all of a sudden be stealing from you? Just when you had installed this computer, it doesn't add up. It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, they obviously had their own agenda in all of this, and as we're now starting to find out with the public inquiry, a lot of it was covering up the real evidence that they did know the truth behind all this, and they just didn't want to come forward. Why? I have no idea. You'll have to ask them.
Well, lives were ruined, and indeed, we will. Lives were ruined, people took their own lives, reputations were shattered, and it's still going on to this day. Even although, against all the odds, you know, it was a real David and Goliath battle, against all the odds you won, people are still waiting for their money and for their reputations to be restored.
Well, so of the original 555 that brought the court case, I think we've lost about 60 or 70 of them. They've died whilst waiting for all of this. I mean, it's diabolical, really. And for the last 2 years, I think the last 20 months, actually, we've been assured of some what they call compensation from their point of view, but actually it's the financial redress they're actually owed. This is their money. This is what they've lost in all of this. But it's just not happening, and it just seems to be stalled in the bureaucracy of Whitehall.
Makes no sense. Makes no sense. And you have had to devote many years of your life to this fight. And still, even when you think you've won, you haven't yet. I mean, are you hopeful that everybody, before their time on this earth runs out, that they actually will get the the money that they deserve, that's theirs?
I know it is frustrating. I'm sure we will get it. The political will is there, and I think the politicians are certainly there supporting us. But it's just the time. As I say, it's the time, and they seem to be extending the deadline for when they can repay us, but they're not extending people's lives, and that's the important thing. People are just, they're desperate nowadays. They really are.
I know, it's terrible, and I mean, the human cost of this, you can't put a price on. They are at the heart of the community. You know, they do so much, they go above and beyond. We saw that, we see that in the drama. And for these people to be treated like that is just appalling.
But they've got away with it. They've just managed to abuse their power and use their money and influence, and they've got away with it for donkey's years. And to be fair, until we actually got them in court and exposed the real truth, they'd still have carried on with this. I have absolutely no doubt about it at all.
God, it really does sort of shake your faith in the whole sort of justice system and beyond that, of course it does. Now, you were honoured. Well, you were offered an honour, and you decided to decline that. That must have been quite a difficult, for the kind of person you are, that must have been quite a difficult thing to do.
Well, I've never really felt all this was about me. It's been about a group from the outset, and for me to accept it really on behalf of the group, the OB, I felt was very, very wrong, especially whilst Paul Vanells, who was then CEO of the Post Office and had been for many years whilst this scandal had been going on, while she retained a CBE. And, for services to Post Office, which was utterly mad they wouldn't take it away from her, considering all that had happened.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all. You did get a Pride of Britain award, though, on behalf of everyone, which was some moment, wasn't it? That was amazing.
Yeah, I did. I'm very grateful. And as I say, I accepted that on behalf of the whole group and all the victims in this. It was nice to have it recognised. And if it raises the profile of what went on, it's important to do.
No, absolutely. Of course it is. And I mean, I guess you cannot stop the fight now. The fight continues, doesn't it? It goes on.
It does. I mean, my main priority at the moment, obviously, is to get money as soon as possible for the victims. And for myself, I'm in the queue like everyone else. And I've been waiting almost 20 years like many of the others. So that's our main focus at the moment, as I say, and then we'll look at any comeback that needs to occur with those who are really guilty in all of this.
Yeah. As one of the characters says, I don't know how you sleep at night. That is what was said to them. Thank you for talking to us. You're fantastic. We need people like you in the world. You're a wee terrier and you just never let go. And thank goodness for you. This would never, we would never be knowing about all of this. We wouldn't. It just would have been all swept under the carpet. Thanks for talking to us. I hope I talk to you again with better news as well in the future. Keep up the good fight.
OK. Thanks, Lorraine.
Thanks, love. Thank you so, so much. I'm told I have to say this. Apologies to everyone. A Post Office spokesman said, we fully share the aims of the current public inquiry set up to independently establish what went wrong in the past and accountability. Both the Post Office and the UK Government are committed to providing full, fair and final compensation for the victims. OK, they've said that. We shall keep an eye on that, shan't we? And make sure that happens. And Mr Bates versus the Post Office continues tonight, 9 o'clock, ITV1.